Hey everybody, Justin here, aka Demonic Sweaters. Got a product review today. This one I'm super stoked about. I just had these loaded up here on my cart, making some coffee to head out to my school, and I'm gonna set these up. What we have here is a brand new 18-inch kick drum from Simmons. This is the KP180. And then we also have a box full of Simmons metal cymbals. It says 18-inch, but this actually has several of them in there. We have the 18, two 16s, and a 13. So basically what I'm going to do is do some serious upgrades to my SD1250 that I have over there. And I'm going to take you guys along. And I'm really stoked about this. I'm super glad that Simmons is going this direction and making this kind of stuff. That's just a really cool idea. I mean, that 18-inch bass drum is awesome. I already took it out of the box and looked at it, but I'm going to show it to you guys here in a little bit. But this is my weird intro. I'm just getting ready to head out the door, and I thought I would shoot it like this. When I was carrying it down the stairs, I dropped it. Didn't fall very far, but kind of busted the box open here. Hopefully it's okay. Okay, here's the kick drum just out of the box, and it appears to be okay. Hopefully nothing knocked loose inside or anything, but I didn't drop it very hard. But as you can see, one thing I noticed about this when I took it out the first time at home is there's no real way to fold these spurs up, like in a way to where you can really, put it in a case. So if you plan on you could take them off, which is probably what you would have to do if you planned on, putting it in a case. But, most people are probably going to buy it and leave it at home anyways. But I just wanted to make note of that. But they're really nice spurs. They're just almost so heavy duty that there's no way to fold them up. Like the Tama Club Jam kicks that are like this size, they have like these really lightweight spurs on them. This one does not. It has some very heavyweight spurs, so that's probably for the best. All right, I got the kick drum hooked up here, and this thing looks seriously badass. The hardware is really nice. All the chrome pieces are super sturdy. There's kind of like plastic liners or rubber liners over there, so no metal upon metal. Inside is basically like a thick rubber pad, and it feels really good, and it's very quiet. I don't have it on yet, but the actual acoustic sound is incredibly quiet, much quieter actually than the original SD1250 pad. So now, time to hook up the cymbals. All right, I got it all set up here, and this thing is incredible. I've been playing, or these things, been playing for a little while. I'm going to show you guys some playing here in a second. Have one more student to go, and then once she finishes up, then I will make a video here of me playing. But this thing is really killer for these things. The bass drum is great. It feels really good. Like I said, it's very silent. It does not budge at all. The spurs are really solid. It's nice and heavy. So it's just a really, really good kick drum. One of the best electronic kicks I've ever played, honestly. The cymbals are also very nice. My only one criticism about the cymbals is the color. I don't love them. I don't love the color. I understand they're trying to make them look acoustic, like metal, bronze. And this part, it looks a little too gold, and this just looks a little too brown. But it's not a big deal. I mean, they look cool. From the front, I think, especially, even though I can't show you here in this room, but I think from the front, like on a stage, they would look really cool, lit up. So, I don't hate them. I think they would probably look cooler like gray and silver, to kind of match the rest of the Simmons stuff. But I do understand why they were doing it, why they decided to go this way. All right, I just wanted to chime in here real quick because there's one thing that I forgot to mention about these cymbals when I was shooting the earlier part of the video, and that is that all of them are 3-zone compatible. No matter which size that you buy, they all have 2 inputs on the back, and you can use that, if you have a Roland module, you can use the bow zone and the edge zone with 1 input, and then the bell zone with the auxiliary input on there. And if you have a Simmons module that uses a single cable, that will work as well, plugged into the main input. So they are very cross-compatible, and all of the cymbals, no matter which size, can do this. And I think that is really awesome. So if you have like a Roland or an Alesis or a Simmons, it should work on pretty much any of those, and any 3-zone, ride configuration that you have, it should work. And I would imagine it should probably work on the Donners that use the single cable as well. I'm not totally sure about things like F Note and those type of brands because I've never used one of those, so I'm not totally sure how those cymbals work, but they may work on something like that as well. But I just think that's really cool. It's a really awesome feature, and I just wanted to make sure I mentioned it. Let me give you the rundown of this kit here. You may be curious. This was an SD1250. Essentially, a lot of it still is, but it's been modified quite a bit. As you can see, I have an ATV XT3 module over here with a Roland FD7 hi-hat pedal, Lemon 12-inch snare drum. The reason why I switched out the snare is because the Cat5 cable won't work from the original SD1250 module. Won't work with the ATV module, or snare drum rather. You know what I mean. And the reason why I got rid of the module, it's not like that I didn't like it, but since this is in my teaching studio, that SD1250 had a lot of like faders and stuff on it that really distracted kids. Like they would immediately just start messing with all the dials and faders and stuff on it and mess it up constantly. So I switched it to this more simple drum module, but now they're like totally fascinated by this. When you tap the drum and you get the level here, they just sit there and tap the drum and look at that over and over again. That seems to fascinate a lot of children for some reason. Yeah, so that's essentially what it is. It's still got the Simmons rack. I actually shortened this side over here. I cut off a piece of this rack because that was very long. I had the other tom. I could still fit another tom on there. I just felt like it was too long. There's plenty of space to still fit another tom. But the module here doesn't accept another input. So it's just a standard 5-piece kit now. But I think this setup is actually quite badass the way it is right now. Very cool stuff. All right, I am seriously impressed with all this new Simmons gear. The KP180 kick drum is absolutely incredible. One of my favorite kick drums I've ever played for electronic drums by far. It feels great. It's very, very solid. It picks up everything I throw at it, even doing double kicks. It's just really nice. It's great. 2 thumbs up for the kick drum. The cymbals I really like too. Do they feel like metal? Not exactly, but they don't totally feel like rubber either. And some people might be wondering, why didn't they just make them all metal? And I understand why they didn't, because metal cymbals are loud. They're always too loud. Like everybody that tries to make them, all the drum manufacturers that try to make the metal cymbals, they always stop because people, once they get them home and start playing them, they realize they're just too loud for their apartment or for their house. They just kind of, unfortunately, they feel really good, but they're just always too loud. These are kind of a nice, in between. You have the feel of metal. They do flex a little bit, but they have the rubber surface. And from the front, if you're looking at them from a front view, they look almost like they're all metal. So it's a really kind of a best of both worlds in a way. I do wish the cymbals came in a different color. Like I said, I'm not crazy about the brown rubber. But other than that, that's kind of nitpicking. And that does look pretty nice with this setup, with the Simmons, all the Simmons drums here, except for the lemon snare. I might have to get one of those. Simmons does make a 12-inch, quarter-inch jack snare drum now that they sell separately. So I'm going to see if I can get one of those to match with this kit and replace this lemon snare. Even though the lemon snare is pretty good, but I think it would be cool to have the full Simmons setup again. Yeah, so anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell icon, and thanks to Simmons for sending these over to me. That's my honest opinion. I think they're awesome. Great job, guys. See you in the next video.